Hello and welcome to another Edexcel iGCSE past paper. This time we're looking at paper 2, practical exam. We're looking at the database question from May 2019. The database part is worth half of this paper. This section is worth half of the paper, including the graphics, and this paper is 50% of the final GCSE. So you'll get the paper. It will be hard copy, paper-based, and you need to read this scenario very carefully because you've got some details about the audience there and the purpose. And you've also got this house style here, which you need to read carefully. So looking at this, I can see that my house style for Celtic Spring Scuba is all headings are bold and italic, logo in the top left-hand corner. I would recommend you make a note of that. If you have scrap paper, you're going to need that information later. You're going to lose marks if you don't follow that house style. Now this is task A1 and this is asking you to create a logo. Now, already covered this to some degree in a video I did about making a logo in PowerPoint. And I'll look at making logos and doing stuff in Photoshop in other videos. But for now, we're just going to brush over this. I've already created my logo. You're going to need a logo to be able to do this. I will include the logo that I created in the link down below in the video. So here's a database question. Simon's collected information about holidays from the clients who booked to go on them. He saved the information in the database holidays. Now, this is a database holidays here. And you've got two tables, destination and client there. And if I go to database tools and look at the relationships there, I can see that there is a one-to-many relationship that signifies one to many there. So, for example, destinations and clients. So, a destination can be booked by many clients, and a client will go to one destination. So I'm just going to close that down. We need to look at this now. We need to look at the exam question. So here is a bit about the database there. It's showing you some things there, some text. I've got text and numbers, and I've got text lookup in there as well. So first thing I need to do is open a word processing document, set the orientation to landscape, enter task A2, details in the header. Those of you that watched a few of my videos on this section will know the importance of that. When it comes out the printer, it's got to have your name on it. Save that. Now, I've already done that, and we'll come to that later. So, someone wants to use a form to add more holidays to the destinations table. So you're going to create a form, and then you're going to add some more destinations too. For 3 marks, you're going to make your form. So go to my database here, and I just close these two down. Make sure you close them down before you start making anything else. And go to create. And I'm going to go to form wizard. And I'll make sure I've got the right table there. It must be destinations. And I'm going to click on the double arrows there and click next. Choose columnar there. I'm going to choose anything else. Next. Now, there's a specific way of saving it. It needs to be saved as destinations underscore form. And I want to modify the form's design. So here I am, good to go. I'm good to modify it. Okay, the first thing I'm going to do is just move this over here. Now, I want to get my logo in there, so I'm going to insert logo, and I've already made the logo there, and I've put a link to it down below, so you can just do that. You can just use my logo. I need to make a suitable title, and I'm not going to call it destinations underscore form. I'm going to keep it in capitals. Holiday destinations. Okay, and remember house style. What was it? It was bold and italic. Okay, so there's 2 marks there. Next part of the question. Suitable title to be customized. All fields have font size 14 and alignment of center. So let's do that. So we simply highlight all our fields there, to drag a mouse over it, and I can make the font size 214, and then I can center it. Okay, save it as destinations underscore form. Well, I've already done that. A2B. Celtic Spring Scuba has organised a new holiday. Use the destination form to enter these details there. Okay, so I'm going to show you how to do that now. So if I go to View and Form View, and if you look down here, I need to go to my last record, and then I need to go to the next one, the next blank one, and I can enter in my details here from the exam question. Before I go and put the data in, I just noticed one thing about this. I'm not happy with this down here, so what I need to do is just edit that so it looks a bit better. I can't see all the text there. It's worth just taking time just to look at that. So if I just sort of stretch that out a bit there, if I just unselect that and just select that and just stretch that so it looks a bit tidier there, then I'm happy then to enter my record. So there's the record as I should enter it, and then it says to take a screenshot and to paste it into Word. It's then asking me to resave that, but to not print at this stage. Task A2C. Sort the destinations table by country into alphabetical order. Okay, just one mark that, but we need to get it right. Not a particularly difficult one. So let's go and do that. We can exit out of this. And I go to my destinations table. And told you it was easy. All I need to do is sort A to Z, and it should be Egypt through England, Maldives, down, all the way down there to Wales at the bottom. Take a screenshot of the sorted table, paste into the document. So print screen that, paste into your document. So make sure you do that, print screen into your document, your A2. Task A2D. Someone wants a list of holidays that are liveaboard, 7 days duration. Use blue water dive boats. Create a query on the destinations table to produce the list. Save the query as liveaboard. Do a screenshot and paste it into A2. Okay, so let's go and try that out now. So now I need to go to create. I need to make sure all my tables are closed before I do this, by the way. And I'm going to go, just going to go through the process of creating a query. So go to query design. Okay. Now I must select the right table here, destinations. Okay, I can close that. And I can double click on these for these all to appear into my query. My query is down the bottom, what I'm going to make here. Now, let's construct the query. So, start with the number of days. It has got to be equal to 7. Okay, equals 7. So, liveaboard, I need liveaboard. Okay, type that into my criteria there. Now, dive boat company. Now, if you look at the database, there's Blue Water 1 and Blue Water 2. So I'm going to type them both in. So I put like. Okay, so anything that is like Blue Water. Now, see my little typo there? I need to put that capital B. If I put that lowercase, that's not going to work. So you can see the little asterisk there, star, like Blue Water, star, close quotation mark. So if I've got two values that are similar, if I put in like, it avoids me having to type them in twice. Okay, and makes a much simpler query that runs a lot better and gains you the marks. So it says, like Blue Water, star, close quotation marks. Okay, now that isn't it. If we read the question here carefully, it says list must show only these fields in this order: holiday ID, region, country. Holiday ID I want, country I want, region I want. I don't want that, I don't want that, and I don't want that. If I untick these, then I'm not going to get them in my query. But it does say in the specific order it needs to be holiday ID, region, and country, which it isn't. So all I need to do is just simply drag that there. Then I am in the right order. Oops, I unticked that accidentally. Run that again. Okay, holiday ID, region, country. Next part of the question, be sorted into. So to do that, if I go back to view and design view, and holiday ID. It needed to be in descending order. There, run that, and I've got MD3 first and EG2 second, and that is 3 marks. So then I need to do my usual screenshot. I need to paste that into the document. Make sure you do that. You're going to lose marks if you don't. So print screen, paste it into your document. Do not print at this stage. So let's exam tip. Make sure you save that document as you go, because you're going to end up redoing the whole of this database task if you haven't saved that Word document. So at this point here, I'd advise you seriously to save that document. Really important. Resave it. It says that there for a reason. If something happens and it crashes, you're not going to have that document. You're going to have to go through the whole thing again. Task A2E, open the clients table. This is the structure of the clients table. Pretty straightforward. You've got text there, date, time, text. The only thing to be aware of is medical form is yes or no. That means Boolean. So either true or false. It's going to be a checkbox. Someone wants a list of clients who have not completed a medical form and are travelling to either Thailand or Philippines. This must show only these fields and be sorted into descending order of client. So create a new query in the clients table to find the information. Now, yes, you do need to create a query on the clients table, but you also need information from the holiday destinations table as well. So I'm going to go to create and I'm going to go to query design, and I actually want both of these tables. I don't just want clients, and we're going to see why in a moment. So first thing I'm going to do is put the clients into there like that. Okay. Now, I need their holiday destination. I'm not going to get that from clients. Okay. So I'm going to add in country there from destinations as well, because the destinations are Thailand or Philippines. So I'm going to put that in first. So there's Thailand in there. And Philippines in there. Make sure you spell it correctly or it's not going to work. So if I just run that, I can see that all the destinations are Thailand, holiday ID, Thailand or Philippines there. But I need to narrow it down a bit further. So I need to go back to view and design view. I need to find all the people who haven't given in their medical form. So I'm going to put no in there. And because I've got an or in there, I'm going to put no in there as well. Okay. Then I run that and that narrows it down to 4. But I still haven't finished that, because I go back to there. I need to show only these fields: client ID, client email, client name, and sorted in descending order of client ID. I go back to view and design view. And remember, if I don't want to see the field, I need to untick that. So I want client ID. I don't want holiday ID. I want client name. I don't want their date of birth. I need their email. There. And I don't want anything else there. Okay. Now the order was client ID, client email, and then client name. So I need to move this, remember, select this here and just move that into there. So I've got the correct order there. Sort into descending order of client ID, run. And that is the correct answer there. Okay. So save the query as medical underscore form underscore query. So click on save there and do that. It needs to be called medical underscore, make sure you know how to do an underscore, form underscore query. And then click OK. And then you can we need to create a database report to display these results, including house style, title, image, require fields, show the field sorted as required. Enter your details into the footer. So back to my database, I can close that now. I need to go to create, and I'll use the report wizard. Okay, now really important here, don't get this wrong. It needs to be of the query, so select the query there. Okay, all the fields are wanted on there. Yes, please. Next. Next. So remember, I wanted client ID in, I was asked to produce client ID into descending order. So select that there. Next. Next. Now, I need to save this, and in the question it asked me to save it as a medical form _ report. Modify the pre-report design, finish. Now here's the basic report here. Okay, so let's go back to the question. As a suitable title, let's do that first. Suitable title. Okay. Now, I need to move that over because remember my house style said my logo needs to go into there. Okay, so I'll reinsert my logo there and I'll make it a bit bigger. Now, let's give this a sensible name. Okay. Now, I can't really think of anything better than that. I'm just going to go with that title, but if you can think of something more suitable, then do so. But remember, that needs to be bold and italic there. Okay. Suitable image, that was it. Show in the require fields, yes. Show the record sorted as required. It should be name, candidate number, center number in the page footer. So down here is the page footer, and I'm just going to delete them. I don't want it asked for in the page footer there, name, candidate number, center number. So I don't need the page number in there either. So I'll just simply delete that as well. So using these here, I have put, so I've used labels to put my name, candidate number and center number into the footer. I used labels for that, so it wasn't bound to anything. If you use text box, it's going to ask to be bound to a field. You don't want that. Just use labels for that. So, footer, make sure all data displayed on one side of A4 is easy to read. Save the form medical _ report, and then print. You're going to print this. Let's just go and have a look at that in print preview. What does that look like? Okay, I've got all the correct records there. They are in the right order, descending order, and down the bottom is my name and the candidate numbers. I'm not particularly happy with the title there, so before I printed that off, I might just go back and edit that to a more suitable title. Now, I'll just exit out of this and just maybe edit that a bit better. Okay. Port people going to Thailand or Philippines, no form. Let's go back to print preview. That's a bit better there. Just take the time to tidy that up and make sure that looks okay. When you're happy with it, press print and it will print to your printer and print off for you. Save the form as medical underscore report. We've done that, and then print it. And that is A2E for 8 marks completed. Right now, the final part of this question, A2F, answers questions in document A2. So you're going to type up your answer in your Word document. State what is meant by the term primary key for 1 mark. Okay, a primary key is a unique identifier of a record. So primary key uniquely identifies a record. If you imagine a database full of students, you could have 2 students with the same name. You need a primary key to identify whether it's student 1 or student 2. State what is meant by the term foreign key. A foreign key is a primary key from another table. It's not secondary key, it's not primary and secondary like school, for example, or evidence. It is a foreign key from another table. Now, just to look at that, if we go back to here, we can see that in action. We've got the primary key here, holiday ID, and it appears also in clients, and here it is a foreign key because it belongs to destinations. And looking at that, identify the type of relationship between destinations table and a clients table. It is a one-to-many relationship. You can see the one there and the many there. That signifies that it is a one-to-many relationship. 4. Explain one advantage of using a relational database rather than a single table. And the reason for having 2 tables is it avoids data redundancy, which can make the database too large and inefficient. Can you imagine if you have lots of clients going to the same holiday destination, but you have 1 table? So for each client, you need to re-enter in their holiday destination over and over again. You end up with a lot of work that you don't need to have and a very inefficient database. By having a relational database, which is a database with more than 1 table, you can repeat the destinations over and over again, and you can have many clients going to that 1 destination. You don't need to type in the same destination over and over again if a destination is particularly popular. So the answer to that question is it avoids data redundancy. Changes also need to be made, only need to be made once. So we have a relational database because it's more efficient and it avoids data redundancy. Redundancy is where data is entered that doesn't need to be entered. It only needs to be entered once, not many, many times. So then you would resave that Word document and you would print it with your name and details on the footer, as we've said many, many times before. And that question is worth a total of 24 marks. So that is a quarter of paper 2. So a considerable chunk of marks there, and not particularly difficult. Just need to remember for A2E, for example, to insert that table there so you can get that extra information you need. Have a go at that question. Download the files down below. Try that out yourself. Let me know in the comments how you get on, and good luck. Thank you for watching.